Hello to you. Let's take a look at domain and range, guys. Today, we'll be deciding function or not, and what is the domain, what is the range of a given relation or function. So you'll be working on the Nearpod. All of it is posted there for you. Make sure you can locate it and you will do your own. These are the video explanations to guide you so that you know exactly what to do and you feel supported. And if you have any other questions, you know exactly how to find me. Email me and we'll be in touch. And I'm also available via Zoom. So domain versus range vocabulary. You always want to pay attention to the vocabulary because math is a language. Domain focuses on input values. Range focuses on output values. I try to keep it short for you, and I am showing you how to find the domain f of x. X is the indicator of the input/domain. And y technically is representative of the f of x as a unity, and that represents the range. Now, whatever you put in, you get something out. And that something becomes your range. Now, also to consider, your input/domain is your independent variable when graphed. And it goes on the horizontal axis. We call it the x-axis. Your output, which is your y, is your vertical axis. And it shows your dependent variable. Very important when you deal with word problems. So let's take a look at a few of them. We are not going to do all of them together since this is your asynchronous activity. You will be provided with answers to the lesson so that you can check your work as you go, or at the end, you know you have access to the material. You never need to be feeling lost. So just go ahead and use it as needed to gain understanding, because that is always the goal. Now, the domain will list your x values. If the function is a discrete function, let me try to enlarge it a little bit. Okay, if the function is a discrete function, you are going to list the values. Okay, now mine is too thick, and of course my thing is in the way. So let me see here if I can adjust it. Go away. There you go. Make it a little bit thinner. And I hope I'm not in the way for you. So the domain will list some sort of values. And if you have to write it a little bit above, so be it. So let's do it. I'm going to write it above. And that's fine. The domain is listing the x values. So you're looking to see what x values I have to list. Start in negative infinity. So it looks like -3 produces the first output. I'm going to state that. And then I continue moving down the axis. What's happening at -2? And I continue yet again. Nothing happens until I actually fail the vertical line test. Yoo-hoo! It's not a function. Why? Because the 1 has a repetitive output and therefore fails us. How about a 4? That's fine. Now, we already know it's not a function because of x equals 1. Ding, ding, fails the vertical line test. But that's not the point. They just want you to list the domain and range. So now I'm going to list the range. I'm going to squeeze that here and potentially delete what I don't want to see, which is maybe my notes for negative infinity into infinity on the x-axis as I was traveling. Now I'm traveling on the y-axis. I'm starting in the negative infinity, guys, and I'm going up, 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 up the y-axis, and I'm looking sideways, okay? Where do I have a partner? For the first time, it looks like I have a partner when y is -4, okay? Unless I'm wrong. And then you would do better than I do. Why is it not writing? -4. Okay, comma. I continue going, -2. That's good with me. How about, yep, when x is 0. Yeah, they have a partner. And I continue going. And how about when x is 3? That's good. And how about when it's 5? I like that. Now, we're going to use braces. That's how you call them. The wavy ones are called braces. Okay, so you have parentheses when they're kind of round. You have brackets when they're kind of pointy. and then you have braces when they're kind of wavy. Anyway, so that's that. And function or not, they do want to know. Look at that. They say, is it a function or not? Well, you're going to say no. Okay, and then you can mark where it fails. Feel free to do that. And I just failed to make it a straight line. How about we make it thick like that? Can I do that? Yes. How about that? Boom. I like it. That's the vertical line that fails us at this point, and it's only a relation, not a function. Now let's do it for the second one. I'm going to show you that too. And it fails many, many times because all of these buddies here will not pass the vertical line test. It is not a function. Boom. Okay. The x values produce more than one output, and therefore it's not a function. Now let's look for the domain and range. We are going to express that as an inequality. Okay. So remember, we're practicing that. And again, for this, I'm going to show you a couple examples, and you will do the rest during your asynchronous day. What color do you want? How about blue? The domain, I'm going to state the domain once again on top, just like I did here. That was the domain. And I'm going to do the same here to have more space. You can even put it on top as long as you indicate what you're talking about, okay? You can work with it as you please. Okay, so I'm traveling from negative infinity. How do you like that? Nothing is happening left and right while I'm traveling on the x-axis until I get to, if you have to enlarge your screen, do Control plus. Okay, if you need to see a little bit more, a little bit better. -3. Okay, I can tell at -3 is my first value. And then something happens. I'm going to have a value not only at the integer marks, okay, all the time on that x-axis up until I get to a +3. Okay, guys? So when I get to a +3, that's when the party is over. Nothing is going to be happening after that. Okay, left and right, there's nothing. So this is my cutoff. Ding, 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 ding. And the cutoff is included. The beginning is included, and so is the end. So when the party begins for my x, there's a party going on right here. X is going to be greater than -3. Okay, it is. And then it's going to be less than or equal to +3. That's an inequality. We are including both values. You're done with the domain. Moving on to the range. Okay, moving on to the range. What color you want? Green. Good choice. And a range is dealing with y. Okay, notice when you're using inequalities, and you may wonder, why am I now using inequalities and not like the first example? Well, the first example was a discrete function. This one, it wasn't even a function, but it was a discrete whatever. Now, in this case, you have a range to show. Like I explained to you, like there's like 1.1 will produce an output. Okay, and 1.99999 forever will also produce an output. That's why you have to do it this way. Now, and you're going to have the alligator going on like this all the time, okay? The question is, are you going to use an equal sign with it or not? Okay, so here, people. Nah, not so close. Don't come too close. Okay, so my range begins in the negative infinity on the y-axis, as you recall us talking. Now, nothing, 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 up until -4. How about that? -4. And the -4 is included, so I have to have an equal sign there. And then I keep rolling. Rolling down the river. Here, 3. Stops at 3. Included or not? Yes, included. After I continue, there's nothing going on. Nothing, but done. Okay, you're done. So notice a couple things. X is to be stated when you're dealing with domain, and then you do your alligator. Ning, 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 ning. And then the y is to be stated when you're doing the range, and the alligator is still going. Okay, you will always have the alligator go from left to right, and it's gonna look for food. See that? Okay, so anyhow, with a Nearpod, it's not about making it pretty. It's about making it functional. Okay, and it's about learning. Now, if you notice, there are so many problems, and I don't quite know. It took me longer to understand it, and I'm out of time. But I feel like I really understand the material. You need to have done at least one, hopefully two, maybe all of them on each slide, right? You need to. But if you can't quite finish them all completely, I am understanding of that if you're out of time, okay? But you have to understand the concept. And yes, you have to submit every slide. So at the very least, you have to do the hardest, the one you consider the hardest on each slide. Every slide must be submitted, okay? And even if it's not fully completed because there's some repetition with it, make sure you understand, okay? So let me show you one where you would not include a value, okay? You would not include it because you have open circles. Okay, so let's check it out. I'm going to do this number 10. Oh yeah, by the way, if it says advanced, that is for our advanced students. So if you're on level, you don't really have to do the advanced slides. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to show you the one that everybody has to do. It's going to be the domain in the middle. Okay, so let's do the domain in the middle. Because it's a little bit more involved, I'm going to write at the top. Here you go. Oh no, how did it switch to so fat again? I don't like it. Okay, why did that change? Change the slide and that changed on me. Okay, blue. We're going to do the domain right here in blue. Check it out. Is my -5 included? Maybe I don't need a brace because I have to, use my x. X is going to be greater than -5, it seems, if I see that correctly, -5. Greater than, not included, because open circles do not include the number. Okay? And then it's going to go on until I get to -2. Okay, then I'm going to take a break. And then I'm going to continue greater than -2 until I get to +2. Okay? Not included yet again. And then my x is going to do something iffy and go on forever from there. Okay? So it's going to be greater than +2 and less than infinity. Now, as you recall, we talked about infinity. When you work with infinity, you will not have an equal sign with it. Okay, that's what you do. Okay, so really that is your domain. Now the range. What's happening with my range? My range is going to start at -4. Okay, start at -4. And I'm dealing with y. Sometimes I like to put the y first, actually, and then I deal with left side, right side, what goes there. So -4 not included. And I keep going until I get to the number 4. I don't know why I said 4, because it's 1, actually. Because it was crossed over here. Okay, that's my 1. And is that included? Well, I'm looking at the range. Ding, 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 ding. It is included because there's something going on. There. Is it a function? Let's scan it. Okay, you're going to scan and you're going to say, okay, is it a function? Yep, it is, because it never fails. The vertical line does not cross my graph more than once. Every time I cross, ding, ding, only one intersection, which means every input has exactly one output, and I have no problems. Okay, last one. I want to see which one goes from -infinity into infinity. Okay, guys? Which one is it? By the way, the circle will always fail you. I'm going to give it away. Why not? It's going to fail. What did I just say? I said it fails you, therefore it's no. Okay? I'm like, it fails you. So yes, it failed you. That's not the question. Is it a function? No. Why is it not a function? And on every slide, it changes the thickness. So you have to decide what you want to do. So here, see how it fails? Yeah, the vertical line crosses the circle once and one more time. That's it. That's why it fails. Now, this W looking sort of guy, I'm going to look at the domain for you. Why? Because I want to be sure that you know how to write it well. Okay, so here, the domain. I'm going to do that up top again, right here. Now, X in the middle. And we are going to say X is greater, then x is greater than negative infinity. Doesn't fit. Okay, so I'm going to say greater than negative infinity. Now remember, with infinity, you are not stating the equal sign, ever. Negative infinity to positive infinity. When it's positive, you don't have to say plus. But you won't have the equal signs. So this is what you won't have, okay? If you did that, that would be incorrect. Okay, so don't do it. That's it. That's how you would state your domain. Just for the fun of it, let's do the range. Why not? I can help you out on this. So the range, oh, wow, what's happening? The range is nothing, 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 nothing until I get to 0. So let's not forget my y. And I can say the y is greater than or equal to 0, but less than positive infinity. Now, could I also say y is greater than or equal to 0 only? I can say that. Okay, so I'm going to put or, so it's your choice how you state it. Now, is it a function or not? Perform your vertical line test very fast. Looks pretty good to me. Yes, that one is a function. Versus, look at the very last one on this page. That is not a function. Why? Look at it. Fails. Where did it fail? I can show you the intersection. Once here, once here, once here, once here. Yeah, that's pretty clear. And it is not a function. Anyway, have fun, and that's that.